It's nice. Clip, where Stephen Hillage, producer of that song, was that shot?
Oh, that was done in a club in London called The Garden. It's a roof garden on top of a big department store.
And we have in Rich from Real Life. Now, you're about to produce Real Life, or you're working on it.
I already am producing Real Life.
Yeah, Real Life's album.
Yeah.
How did you first link up with the boys?
Well, I heard a tape of Send Me an Angel a few months ago, and I thought it was great. And then I heard they were sort of interested in an English producer coming over, and lo and behold, here I am.
It's sort of a little risky, though. You've heard the tapes. To fly all the way to Australia to produce someone you don't know.
Oh, I also heard a tape of a concert shortly before I came over, and that was a revelation.
The live stuff brought you here, eh? Have you heard any other Aussie bands since you've been here, like live in concert?
Well,
or on
there's some Australian groups that are quite well known in England, such as The Church and Ice House, and of course Men at Work. Well, there's one single that's out at the moment I like very much. It's that Rain by Dragon.
Yeah. That's your favourite at this time?
Well, it's one of the Australian records I like at the moment.
Right. Now, if I can go to you, Rich, you've sort of started work on this album. You've got a release date which is October for overseas. We're not too far away. Yeah. Does that scare you?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, we're doing everything we can to get it out on that time, and we're working very hard in the studio.
We're well over the halfway stage.
And are you up to a timetable? Do you like working to a timetable as a producer?
I think it's good, you know. I think it's good to sort of keep a sort of certain...
It keeps the vibe up. The album cover's already been done. The album's not finished and the cover's there. Well, who designed that and who's behind that?
It was actually a photograph taken off one of our film shoots, the last film clip, which I think we're going to be seeing in a minute.
Yeah.
And it was just a still that was taken quite...
Out of that?
Out of the blue. It was... we had a look at some of the negatives of the shots that were taken, and it just seemed to stand out. So we put it together from there.
Well, while you were doing this clip, it became a bit hairy, didn't it? There was bombs and stuff going off.
Well, there's a flamethrower. And Dave, there's a shot on the very end of it where Dave has to stand very close to this huge wall of flame, and you don't realise just how much fear, the intensity of the heat, until you're actually standing 4 feet from it, and you could feel it 300 yards away.
Sure.
So Dave was pretty game.
We'll have a look at the clip shortly, as you said. When do you go back on the road as a band?
Well, actually, our next show's in New Zealand. We are going off to play the Carlaw Festival in Auckland on the 30th, Sunday the 30th. And then from there, I think we'll probably be starting, I'm not sure of this, but I think we're doing the Duran support.
Yeah, I heard that. I wanted you to say
Yeah, well, I think that's going through, and we'll probably be back on the road before then. But if we don't get back, we'll certainly be coming back after that.
Steve, your schedule, you'll finish the album off and then what, go back to England, or will you do more Aussies here?
It's possible, but I'm going to spend a bit of time here in the sort of latter part of October, just sort of relaxing a bit.
Back in the sun and all
And
that.
I've got several other production jobs in Europe in November, and England in November, December. And maybe I'll be coming back in January, New Year.
Right, so you'll go out of the summer, back to the winter, and back into the summer.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. It's also a bit confusing, the fact that you're south is like my north, a magnetic thing. I haven't quite worked that out yet.
Getting a little twisted around. Did you have any impressions other than the band, Real Life, Australian bands, before you came over? Did you think or know of them very well, other than Church too?
Well, Australia's got quite a hot reputation at the moment, also in the movies.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've had an interest in coming out to Australia for quite a while. But, you know, I primarily came out to produce Real Life.
Just to do the group. What other producers from England that are famous do you sort of mix with, or don't you associate with others?
Oh, I know quite a lot of other producers.
Depends how often he changes his shirt.
Someone said he's had the same shirt on for a while. I said,
have you know,
I've
got 45 shirts and they're all identical. I change them every hour, on the hour.
And they couldn't believe when he got on the plane with 45 of these black shirts. Thanks very much, both of you, for coming in. Look forward to the new album. Look forward to seeing you back on the road. Good luck with Duran, should that come off.
Thank you.
This is the follow-up to Send Me an Angel, Open Hearted. The clip we spoke about with the fire in it and everything. Not produced by yourself, Steve, but the album will be produced by Steve as it comes up, okay? Real Life and Open Hearted. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Donnie.
All the best.